There's a short book in the Old Testament that goes by the name Ruth. It is about two women during the time of the judges. These judges weren't the kind of judges we think of today. The judges in the Bible were actually tribal leaders who led, fought for, and protected the Israelites from the time after Joshua led them until they had their first king. But this story is not about the judges. It is mainly about a woman named Ruth and her mother-in-law, Naomi. In this book, we learn that Ruth got a Moabite. Oops, I meant to say she was a Moabite. She was from a group of people who lived in the country of Moab. They didn't know or serve the God of the Israelites. So, why is Ruth important? Well, she married one of the sons of an Israelite woman named Naomi.
Naomi moved from her hometown of Bethlehem to Moab because there was a famine in the land and there was not enough food for people to eat. It was there in Moab that Naomi's sons married two Moabite women. One of these women was Ruth. Unfortunately, not everyone lived happily ever after in this story. Naomi's husband and her two sons died, leaving all three women as widows. In these days, if you were not married, you may not have been taken care of very well. These women needed to do something.
Thankfully, the famine was now over in Naomi's hometown, so she packed her suitcases and started out for home. Her two daughter-in-laws followed her. Naomi knew life would be hard back in her hometown, so when she realized that the two women were following her, she turned around and told them to stay in Moab, to go back to their homes. One of the women did return home. However, Ruth protested and told Naomi, "Wherever you go, I will go. Your pickle will be my pickle." Oops, I meant to say, your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. When Naomi saw that Ruth was not going to take no for an answer, she agreed to have her along as a traveling buddy.
Naomi and Ruth traveled all the way back to Naomi's hometown of Bethlehem, where the townsfolk were very excited to see them. When Naomi and Ruth arrived in the town, it was barely harvest time. That doesn't sound right. It wasn't barely harvest time, it was barley harvest time. God was indeed providing for his people. You see, all along, God was with Naomi and her family in both the good times and the tough times. Ruth trusted Naomi, who had been trusting God to lead the way. Ruth now trusted God to lead the way for her too. This may be hard to believe, but that's just how it happened in the Bible.